Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So the hypocrisy of Meghan and Harry simply continues on, and I'm sure you have already seen the interview teaser that Oprah Winfrey has released from her side of the camp, from her team. And Harry has now gone as far as to compare his situation with Meghan and her dysfunctional relationship with her family to the scrutiny that his mother faced. All I can really say is that it's quite sad that Harry feels the need to stoop this low, but he has gone there, and unfortunately it seems as though the royal firm is not going to live this one down, and it's not going to be forgiven. Harry has decided to commit the ultimate betrayal against his brother William, and if I was William, I also wouldn't be bothering to communicate with Harry, because what Princess Diana actually experienced was an internal situation that affected her relationship, obviously, with her sons and her marriage. She was experiencing betrayal, and that's very different to simply just being dysfunctional. She felt as though Charles had betrayed her in her marriage with Camilla, and therefore the War of the Windsors begun. Her and her husband just simply could not get their relationship back on track, and it ended up in a media storm which was whipped up into a media frenzy. This was a woman who was in pain. This was a woman who had been betrayed, who was doing everything she possibly could in her power to really get revenge on her husband slash ex-husband to be, and she also wanted to keep her HRH status. Now, Harry has compared his situation with Meghan to his mother's, and it really doesn't make any real sense, because he's done everything to court media attention. He's done this tell-all explosive interview with Oprah, which doesn't really represent the true actions of someone who just simply wants to lead a quiet life and simply wants to get on with their life and simply wants to have privacy. He didn't have to do this interview. He didn't have to do the carpool with James Corden. He didn't even have to really go to Hollywood or LA and buy a mansion there in the heart of the paparazzi world. He didn't have to do any of these things, but he's chosen to do these things because he simply wants attention, and now he's trying to play victim. So I found this article by The Express which highlights 3 major double standards laid bare by Meghan and Harry's teaser interview. And this is from the perspective of Piers Morgan. So, Meghan Markle and Harry's 3 major double standards laid bare. Piers Morgan, an outspoken critic of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, has written a new column condemning the recent actions of the couple in the lengthy opinion piece. The journalist highlights 3 of the pair's double standards, which include their frequent comments on climate change. Mr. Morgan wrote in the Daily Mail, after the wedding, Meghan and Harry decided it was their job to now lecture the rest of us on how we should lead our lives. They banged on about the environment whilst using private jets like taxis. They preached about poverty whilst throwing $500,000 at a baby shower in New York. It comes after a trailer of Meghan and Harry's tell-all interview with US chat show host Oprah Winfrey was shared today. The chat with Oprah has already been pre-recorded and is scheduled to air at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the 7th of March. CBS has said the chat will touch upon a wide range of topics, including motherhood, Meghan's arrival in the US, her life under the public eye, and the Sussexes' hopes for the future. The primetime show was first said to last 90 minutes, but the program will now last for 2 hours. So there you have it, guys. So that's the time that it's going to be aired. And as I said, Meghan and Harry have been very contradictory in their rhetoric, and it's quite ridiculous that they have been able to get away with this, essentially. There's another article that I also wanted to cover, which goes into a bit more depth as to what exactly they have said during the interview. There's this article by BBC News, and it goes into the details of the clips that you guys may have already seen. In two 30-second clips released by CBS, Harry says he feared history was repeating itself before he and Meghan decided to step back as senior royals. Winfrey is seen asking Meghan if there had been a breaking point and if she was silent or silenced, but the Duchess does not speak in either clip. Prince Harry has previously said he stepped back from royal duties in order to protect himself and his family from the toxic environment created in the UK by the press. Harry's late mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, relinquished her Royal Highness title at the time of her divorce from the Prince of Wales. She died the following year after a car crash in Paris. The driver had been drinking and the car was being followed by paparazzi on motorbikes when the accident occurred. In the clips from the upcoming TV special, an image of a young Prince Harry with Diana is shown. As the Duke says, "I can't begin to imagine what it must have been like for her going through this process by herself all those years ago, because it has been unbelievably tough for the two of us, but at least we had each other." Meghan Markle seems to be pregnant in the interview. She doesn't look very far along, so who knows when this was filmed. It's very staged, it's a staged setup, and apparently the interview was not conducted in their $14.6 million mansion in Montecito. Harry also tells Winfrey, "My biggest concern was history repeating itself. For me, I'm just really relieved and happy to be sitting here talking to you with my wife by my side." Harry really is a jester, isn't he? He definitely likes to stoke the flames and be extremely contentious. And I think this is all a desperate bid to undermine his brother and the future of his brother's children in the UK. He's doing everything to cheapen the firm and exploit the firm. And it's really sad to see, but here we are. This is what Harry is doing in real time. In the full interview, Meghan and Harry talk about their move to the United States last year and their future plans, according to CBS. Speaking to chat show host James Corden last week, the Duke insisted the couple were stepping back rather than stepping down as senior royals. It goes on to say, these first insights into the much anticipated Oprah interview are designed to draw us in with their tight editing and dramatic music. They are a flavour of what's to come. In the minute of footage, Meghan doesn't say a word. We'll have to wait for her answers, but the questions that Oprah puts to her hint strongly at upset and frustration. The language is of being silenced and of surviving something. So there's a lot going on here, and I'm sure Meghan Markle has choreographed a extremely long, explicit account of how terrible it was to spend multi-millions on herself from the British taxpayer. I'm sure she has a very viable explanation also as to why she has continued to ignore and discard her father. Anyway guys, that's it for now, and I will be back with another video. Bye guys.